Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. Now, in the last episode, we built this simple, very simple little startup. But today, we're going to make this a lot more efficient. And we're going to make this a semi-permanent factory where it's going to be making most of the basic materials with the plates, the rods, the wire, the cable, the cement, the reinforced iron plates, the copper sheets, and the rotors. So I'm hoping we get this all done today. But without further ado, let's crack on. So before we can get started, we're going to need to unlock the base building, because without the base building, we can't make this look nice and pretty. With the base building parts, everything can snap in place and we can get a more uniformed factory. So we're going to unlock that first. We should have enough now to unlock it, I'm hoping. Yeah. Easy. So what's that? Plates. Well, I mean, we've got 700 plates here. So we'll take that 100. Take that. And concrete. I mean, we've got enough, but we're going to need more. Concrete's your best friend. You need so much of it. Right. What you got for
Milestone reached. Several new structures are now available for improving factory organization. Foundations provide a building grid, which makes it easier to manage placement of any structure. In the event that you are experiencing amnesia for all events prior to planetfall, be reassured that memories of beloved humans and/or animals would have only been distractions from your important mission.
Okay. So now we have unlocked the base building parts. We can start doing foundations. Now, whenever you're building, try and use 2 and the 4, especially with the ground level, because when it comes to leveling stuff out, it makes it a lot easier with the 2 and the 4. The 1s are great, but I think they're best for when you're doing a second level of a building, and just use the 2s and the 4s for the ground floors. You'll find it a lot easier. So we're going to need a lot of concrete. When it comes to planning stuff out, if you just go to the right side of the screen, you'll see it goes dark. If you click that, you've got a little to-do list and you can write notes in here. So we are going to try and just basically get about 60 per minute on most things. So iron plates, rods, screws, wire, cable, concrete. Now, with the reinforced plates and the rotors, you're going to need a lot more stuff. So it's very unlikely that you may get 60 per minute unless you are funneling more materials. But we don't want to use up all of the materials in this area just for a starter factory. Okay, as you can see, it's now on my screen, so I know what I need to do. Now, preparing the machines. We need to have a look of what we need. So if we have a look on this for the plates, we're going to need 30 ingots in and 20, and we get 20 plates out. Now, that's simple math, right? So to have 60, we're going to need 3, 20, 40, 60. So we're going to need 3 machines. 3 machines of that. So that means we need 90 ingots going in. 90 ingots, we're going to need 3 of these because these are 30 and 30. So we're going to need 90 per minute on the iron. So we're going to need multiple iron nodes. The rods, to get 60 of them, we got 15. So we're going to need 4 to make 60. So you got a little special button on your keybinds, and it's N. This is also a built-in calculator. So if we need 60 per minute on something and the machines do 20, so you divide by what you need and what you have, and it tells you exactly how many you need. So we're going to be using this a lot when it comes to working stuff out. I also have a system when it comes to belts as well, because like I said last time, the belts, you need to consider when it comes to moving items to wherever you need to go. So now we've unlocked the base building. I've had a little bit of a chat. We are going to start finding a place where we can make this little factory, and I think we're going to keep it close and bring some of the materials in. And I think there's a little spot up on this hill which will give us everything we need. Okay, right, so this is better placed than any. So we've got a nice little pretty flat area. We've got some more nodes here. So we've got iron all along this bit, and there's 2 copper nodes down there, and we can pull up from there if we need to. But I think this should be enough for what we want to do. If not, we can just grab it from over there. Alrighty then. So I've done a few things, as you may have noticed. So this is basically my rods, my plates, my wire, and my cable. So that's just over 50% of the stuff that I want to get done within this little starter. So along the bottom left here, I've got all my smelters that I need for this one section. So the first 3 are the copper, the last 5 are for the iron. The row of constructors just in front of that, that is my plates and my rods. And the constructors ahead of it, the 6 that are in all together, they are all for wire. And the other 2 are for cable. The 4 in the back are for limestone, which I will need to get onto. But I just need to go through exactly how this works. So I've got all of the ore that I need. So I've worked out exactly what I'm going to use. So as I mentioned in the last episode, smelters only need 30 per minute. So in knowing that, I worked out exactly how many I need for the plates to then work out how much I'm going to need for the smelters. So for the plates, I need 30 per minute of ingots. Now, ore smelts at 30 per minute. So I have 3 dedicated just for the plates. The other 2, I need 60 for the 4 constructors for the rods, because I get an output of 15 each, which then obviously adds up to 60 in total. With the copper, I need 90 copper. So hence why I've got the 3 smelters, 3, 6, and 9. The reason why I've got 6 constructors is because 4 of them need to make the 60 cable. Because the 60 cable requires 60 wire each, and that just makes 30. And then the last 2 are for my storage. So as I mentioned before I started, we need to focus on an in and an out. So as you can tell, I've got all my ores coming into one section, and they're going out into the constructors, and then they're going out into the storage. Planning this out will help with less spaghetti. Now, what I have done with the smelters is what I'll probably do in a lot of builds is I'll raise it up so I can have what they like to call a logistic floor, where all your conveyors can go underneath. I hide them away. This isn't, the perfect build of mine. I do like to try and keep it as neat as I can. For me, this is not neat. This is just thrown together. However, I haven't powered it on yet, so we are going to do that now, and let's see how things work. Obviously, everything needs to boot up. If we get our little cable here, and make sure we've got green lights throughout. Right, so it seems to have booted up a little bit. It's not fully operational yet, because the manifold systems do need to fill up. But other than that, this is what we've got. So we've got all the iron, and we've got copper on the end here. Coming in, goes in, makes the ingots, goes into the machines, makes the materials, and heads down into the storage bins. Now I just need to do concrete and screws. Now screws, are the bane of existence in this game. You need so many screws. But for this, we're just going to build a second floor, get some more iron ingots, make some screws, and then we can start focusing on the plate side of it. Right, before we start building, we are going to need to focus on the concrete because we need that for literally all the foundations, walls. So we're going to focus on this for a second. So we need 45 limestone in each. We want to make 60 per minute. So it's going to produce 15. So there's 30 there. There's 30 there. There's the 60. Now with the 45, so you do the 45 times by how many machines you got. So you're going to need 180 limestone per minute. Now we don't have a belt that moves 180. So if we take the 180 and divide that by the 60, we're going to need 3 lines. So we're going to need 3 lines of limestone, but then that needs to be split between the 2. Right, so I'm going to go get the limestone. I've already pulled the limestone on from over there. I've got a 60 line. I've got a limestone node over there. I've got another one over there. And another one over there. So there'll be all the limestone that I need to basically get us concrete. And then as soon as the concrete start being made, then we can start building and focusing on the next section of the build. So if you bear with me, I will get this put together and we can get on started on the next level. Okay, so I've got the screws going now. With the screws, they're a lot different. So you kind of get 40 screws per minute with each one. So I'm actually currently making 120. This lot, this 60 here, this is going to go to somewhere else. So I've just put that out of the way. So I do currently have 60 screws per minute going into my storages. I have the 60 plates, 60 rods, 60 cables, 60 wire, and 60 concrete. Now, with the concrete, because of how the numbers that go into it, you need 45 in and it gets 15 out. So I've got 4 machines to make the 60. However, with the 45, I needed 3 lines, 360 lines. So I've got one there, I got one there, and I've merged 2 together to make the 60. Now I've got this little contraption here. Now I'll try and explain it as best as I can. So what's happening is this line that's coming in here, that's splitting evenly. So you got 60 belts, so it's going 30 to the left and 30 right. Then it's getting split again. So it's then splitting the 30 into 2 15s. And then just underneath it, the 2 other lines, they're getting split evenly. So you got a 60 into 30, 30. And then I'm merging the 2 15 lines into that bottom 60 row to make the 45 on each line. So it's little things like this just to kind of balance it. Really helps. So now these are going to have 45 each time, and I'm going to have a full 60 line constantly. So I've got everything that I need now, all the basics apart from copper sheets. But we're going to go to the hub and see what else we can upgrade. Not upgrade, unlock. But I think we need to kind of go through. I want to get the obstacle clearing, because what that's going to do is that's going to give me solid biofuel. Now,
Solid biofuel, created from any biomass, ensures maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, the chainsaw allows for the removal of tougher wood and coral foliage. Additionally, your pocket dimension has been inflated to increase inventory size. Inspirational note: will you be the Fix-It Employee of the Month? You could be if you construct, automate, explore, and exploit by eliminating all obstacles to efficiency. This isn't just fun, it's contractually mandated fun, fun, fun.
fun. Well, thanks, Ada. You just ruined the limelight for me. So, as she, stole my words, solid biofuel for the biomass burners are a lot slower burning, so they last a lot longer. Now, this power is going to go out soon, but with everything that we have already, we can do this a lot better and have an automated system where I literally just chuck in the leaves and the wood, and it just makes a solid biofuel. Basically, automating it like this. And so for this time, we're going to get the constructor, and we're going to make the solid biomass, solid biofuel. Sorry, with the leaves and the wood. So we'll put the leaves and the woods in here, and then make it into that, and then it'll last a lot longer until we get cold power, which will be in the next phase. The next upgrade we need to get is we need to get the assemblers, which we can do once this gets back. So we got 60 iron plates, we got 60 rods, we got 60 screws, 60 wire, 60 cable, and 60 concrete. That is everything that we wanted to do. So I think that is a success. So now we just need to get the 200 cable. I've got them. I've got them. And the 500 screws, which I should have. Should be up here. Yep. And there we go. And that is the next milestone completed. As easy as that.
Milestone reached. The assembler can produce more complex parts, including the first project part, smart plating, which is crucial for initiating project assembly. Project parts must be delivered to the space elevator. By completing your contracted duties as part of project assembly, you will definitely be helping achieve Fix-It Company goals without any other ulterior motive. Note: humans cannot craft project parts. Do not worry about your inadequate crafting skill when compared to an assembler. Fix-It cherishes your innate human abilities, such as walking, striking objects, and commodifying natural resources.
Well, thank you for that, Ada. Right, so there we have it. We have a small starter factory going on. Like I say, it is semi-permanent. So we're going to wait till we get more builder parts to make it a more permanent fixture. So I'd like to say thank you all for watching. Feel free to jump in the comments if you have any questions. Like, subscribe, all the good things. And I'll see you guys in the next one.